welcome back to my office. This is Karen speaking. Hey, do you ever find yourself so frustrated because you and your colleague were working on a document and you've got something urgent to send to a customer, or hey, there's that payment to be done and you just don't know where the bookkeeper put the invoices, or there's a client screaming for information and you don't know where to find it. Maybe you and your colleague are working on the same project, but he's got his stuff out there, you've got your stuff over here, the other person's got it on their desktop, and it's like chaos. Your information is just so fragmented all over your business, and it makes collaboration so difficult. Stop the bus. Have you considered a record and document management system? Hey, don't panic. It actually isn't that complicated. It sounds fancier than it is. It's simply a system of saying, let's collaborate together. Let's work together in the same space. Let's have a place for everything and everything in its place. So you stop and you say, all right, what do we need? We need folder structures in a common space. Maybe it's in the cloud. Maybe it's on your server. What's the structure of this folder structure going to be so that everybody knows what goes where? Okay, you need a finance folder. Maybe in your finance folder you're going to have your management accounts, you'd have your creditor payments, you'd have your audits and anything else relating, budgets, whatever, in your finance folder. Then you'd have your customer folder, and in your customer folder you'd have a folder for each customer, and in that folder for each customer you would then have your quotes, your customer agreements, any correspondence, diagrams, projects for that customer. Maybe you're an IT company that does development projects, and you want to know that when it starts from the kickoff and all the kickoff documents and all the planning and the SLAs and the project plans and sharing of codes, etc., you're gonna, it's a mess. We don't know, this guy got sick, he went off, we don't know where the codes are, etc., or he had that document signed by the client because it was a request for change and no one knows where it is. So you say, all right, well, going through the project flow, which would be the folders we would have for each stage of the project. So you have that folder structure. And basically, you would set up a folder structure for each of the different categories of areas. Maybe for ops, you have a folder where you're putting your minutes of meetings or anything else relevant, cleaning rosters, anything else that's relevant to your operations. You don't put everything in the shared domain because obviously there are going to be some shared folders that just managers would share that would then be in a separate folder structure, maybe on the same server, maybe in the same Google Drive structure, or wherever you choose to set up the structure, but it would be separate from the others and people wouldn't have permission to see it, so that all your HR and sensitive documents are in that folder structure. But what it does, so what are the benefits? The benefits are everybody knows where to find the things that you're working on. It allows you, instead of, oh, he's got his in the cloud, or oh, he's got his on his hard drive, that person's working on his desktop. So dangerous, because if a laptop gets lost or a computer crashes, you've lost it. Or if you're working together on a project and you need to know what's next or what was said or changed, you don't have that. So it gives you that collaboration and that benefit of all knowing where things are and what is happening next. And you can then please consider this. What works well with the record and document management system is having standard naming conventions. So what do I mean by that? So what type of documents are we going to have? Okay, invoices. So every invoice must then be named in the same way. It's invoice, name, date. You might want to have a small descriptive of what the work is. If it's a supplier invoice, it might start with an S. If it's a customer invoice, it might start with a C. Project documents, you'd have a specific naming convention that everybody knows how to name it and how to find those particular documents. A resolution would be named specific way, etc. So standardized naming conventions, even of your folders, makes it so much easier to manage what's where and how to find it later. The risks. The risks are that maybe somebody loses something, changes something, breaks something, or a folder gets corrupted, a document gets corrupted. So, I mean, come on, this is standard in any business situation. Have backups. Backups are critical anyway to any business organization's data safety. So, you have a backup. If a record gets damaged, lost, broken, not a problem. Go to your backup, restore it. Have version control in your documents so that if I go along and I've now gone and created an agreement and I've saved it in the agreement folder under leases because it's a lease agreement, and my colleague needs to review it and they do some markups for me, I might have saved mine as VDOKB. My colleague comes along afterwards, does their markups, saves it as VD01PC. Great, thanks Peter. Now I know I can go to his document, check it out, and mine is still intact and his is a different version, but we can always go back to mine if there are some problems. Record and document management systems are simple to set up. They're easy. Yes, it takes discipline. It takes buy-in. You definitely want buy-in from the top, because if the top manager carries on doing his work on his desktop, how are you going to make Susan in sales admin department save her documents in the client quote folder with the correct naming convention? Have the disciplines, have it set up, have the standardization, make sure you've got your backups, and then get everybody to work in those collaborative spaces so that you don't have your data fragmented all over the place in your organization. This can work for you and you will see the benefits of it. You can sell your people on the benefits of it when they start seeing how easy it is to work together and find things. Stay well, be blessed, stay safe.